This is such an elegant city. All right, I'm gonna say it. I love Galway. Good morning. I am in beautiful Galway, a city with a population of around 100,000 on the west coast of Ireland. It is completely and utterly freezing right now. I took the train ride from Dublin. It was a nice train ride, saw a lot of sheep. There was snow on the ground on the way here. So I think that tells you all you need to know about the weather. Hat, neck thing, jacket, warm gloves. But I'm excited to check out the city. Apparently you get like a lot of the same Irishy feel as Dublin. So I don't know, I'll see what's different, see what's the same. I'm doing a day trip here, so it was a 2.5 hour train ride. But I can definitely see the city within 4 or 5 hours, so let's get to it. Because look, over my shoulder, the main walking pavilion. And then I just run a little bit, and the river, and look at how fast it goes. This is River Corrib, the main river that goes through the city. I mean, just look at this. Look at how fast this is going. Is this river supposed to flow this fast? Why is there a white water rapid river in the middle of the city? What? I'm like, and the waves are huge. There must be like cliffs underneath it that are causing the waves to go up and down. I mean, this is something. Normally, I would expect this maybe in like the middle of like nowhere Ireland, like more like towards where like the mountainy area is. Not right here. What? When you're here, do what I am doing. Just walk up and down the river. I have reached Nimmo's Pier, and it's a nice lookout spot where you got the beach as well as the Galway Bay. The way that it's situated, it doesn't actually lead, you're not on the Atlantic Ocean. There's a little bay, but then that bay leads to the Atlantic Ocean. So this is just such a great and quiet spot. I love how you listen carefully and you can hear the waves go, as well as being able to then turn around and you see the city. It's just a great spot to, if you want to just sit down, read, relax. And I guess the beach probably gets popular during summertime. Here we got a patch of rugby fields. Maybe the rugby fields with the best view in the entire country. It can't get better than this. Playing a game, and then you look to the sidelines, and this is your 360-degree panoramic view. So I'm currently in the main walking pavilion right now. You have the shops, the restaurants, and it's currently very empty, but that's because it's literally 10:30 right now. You can see them setting up their stores, getting ready for the day. Restaurants are getting ready to open. So I'm sure when I come back here a little bit later, there's going to be a lot more activity, and it does seem like a very fun area. Oh wow, I'm back in the central pavilion when it's much later in the day, and it's packed now. So let's go see what the energy's like. People are here now, shopping, eating, having some ice cream, just overall having such a good time. I saw this in Dublin and it's here too. This has to be the funniest thing. Quality control for Guinness. The Central Pavilion is very similar to Dublin, frankly very similar to the most of Europe. So you don't need to really spend so much time here, because once you've seen it in one city, I feel like you've seen it in most cities, but it's still fun to walk up and down at least a couple times, right? The pavilion stretches multiple blocks and leads from the water up towards the central part of the city. So walking up and down through it, you're really gonna pass pretty much most things that you'll want to see here. So in that sense, it's a great place to start. Okay, I take back what I said earlier. This isn't your regular boring city pavilion. The charm and elegance, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like you feel it stronger here. It has more of a culture, I think that greater elegance comes from the fact that there aren't the scraping skyscrapers behind you as you're walking through. It's these very short 3 or 4 story tall buildings, and it's making you feel like you're in more of a nice quaint town even walking through here. As I'm wandering down these streets, the charm is just continuing. Obviously this place is not too big, but I think that's what adds in the charm that it has. From the homes, from the different colors, the single family homes, to the rivers, to just the overall like main actual center. It just feels like such a great place to be able to live, especially to bring up a family. So every year Galway gets around 1 million visitors, and a lot of them are exactly what I'm doing. You get a lot of people who are in Dublin for an extended period of time, want to explore the Irish island. A lot of people visit every single Irish city within the island, and that's where most of them come from. So you all have a lot of foreigners in the city at any given time. Around roughly like 3 to 4% of everyone in the city is a tourist, which is actually like a pretty high margin. Sometimes in a coastal town, it's not really walkable because you have all the waterways in the way and you're gonna have to make curves and everything. But no, everywhere here you can walk to so easily. Great job by the urban planners in like the 16th century when this really started to become developed. In terms of cruises, you actually do have some big name cruises that make stops here during the summertime. Norwegian is one of them. A lot of them are doing the British Isles and Irish Isle tour, where typically it'll leave out either like Paris or London, but it'll go all the way around England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, maybe up to like Iceland. Some of them then go transatlantic, come into New York. So a lot of the tourists come that way. So a lot more visitors during the summertime. This residential community, actually incredible. I mean, you know, look at this, like how you have the actual yards in front. You got areas to hang out. Just, it really adds in to the charm that is here. Look at this residential area. Single family homes that actually have a little bit of a front yard and a backyard. These are such a nice community. This is such a big difference from Dublin, and one of the advantages of living in a much smaller city. Look at all of this space that you have outside your home. Sure, it's not like big suburbs or big farmland, but for living a 5-minute walk from the center, this is pretty awesome. Everything here just feels so much more wide open, so much more space. Just, it feels a lot more of like a relaxed, easygoing lifestyle, and I can see why people absolutely love living here. These homes are in such a nice area. I mean, I'm literally 5 minutes from outside the center, and there's no noise besides the occasional cars that passes. These homes, beautifully constructed, just such nice, quaint feelings. Again, as I will mention so many times, the rivers that are going through. I can't tell if this is an actual river or a canal that was built. Either way, just to be able to look outside your home, to be able to see this, and also just be so close to literally everything. Just wow. So I'm at the Central Cathedral now, and wow, the medieval architecture really takes over. It has this kind of like grandeur feeling because there's no skyline here. Galway, the tallest buildings are maybe 3, maximum 4 stories tall. So when you have this, you can see it from most places in the city. And it's like size equals power, and this definitely has the size and just the grandeur of it. Everything combined just makes it such a sight to see. It is very similar though to most of the ones in Dublin, and frankly, most of the ones across the whole island of Ireland. Ireland as a whole is so religious and so Catholic that having something like this in the heart of every town is absolutely critical for their culture. Right here, I'm at the National University of Galway, and it is perfectly situated because look, you have a nice little campus here. You are within literally like a 4 or 5 minute walk from everything in the center, and you got the very charming residential area behind you. This remains a very popular destination for study abroad opportunities for a lot of US students. The school overall definitely does have a very medieval-y feel to it, which I think situates it perfectly within the city, because a lot of the buildings, especially like the cathedral, the main cathedral, it has that medieval architecture still in place. Similar to Dublin, they have the same exact double-decker buses, which, as I really think, could be a great way. You literally just pay your like $2 to get on the bus, go to the second deck, sit in the front row, and they'll just take you around the city. It's almost like you're getting your own tour where you get a 360-degree panoramic view. I've moved now to the opposite side, and you get this nice little harbor here as well. Looking out into the distance, you see the homes in the very nice residential community. And we look a little closer, and we got some swans. The beauty here really is made of all the waterways. They're everywhere, to the north, to the west, to the south, cutting through, and the homes out in the distance, they're very similar to, it has like almost, I don't want to say American suburb feel because that would be completely wrong analogy, but it's nothing like you're living in a city. And keep in mind, this is the country's second most populated place. I bet this stretch that I'm on right now has the most expensive homes of anywhere around here. Walking alongside the apartments, I took a walk down here towards the rocks just to get a sense of what this is like. You know what? While I'm here, I'm gonna touch the water. Wow, it's very muddy. Let's try this again. Oh yeah. Oh my god, that's freezing. My fingers become numb right away. Just like Dublin and London, they have at the crosswalks which way to look. But I don't think it's because of confused tourists this time. I think it's because these roads are just so confusing with all the twists and turns right here. Okay. So I was just wandering and, walking outside of the city, seeing the residential area, and I must have wandered so far because I am not really near the city center now. I'm just by some homes, and I realized how far I walked like 15 minutes ago, and I looked at the GPS, and I've been walking back for 15 minutes. It says I'm still a 25-minute walk away. I didn't realize how in the world I wandered 45 minutes outside, but most visitors won't get to see areas like this, so I'm glad I did it. Dream Wedding Expo. That reminded me of another fun fact. Galway has 120 plus different festivals and expos each year, by far the most of any Irish city. Look, here's another one. Many of the festivals take place right on this greenery, which is only like a 2-minute walk from the train station, which is down this street over here, which makes it so easy for people coming in from other cities. In terms of pub culture, yeah, it's definitely found here. I mean, you're gonna have pubs at nearly every single corner, and it's really a cornerstone of tradition, especially on weekends, to just meet with friends, hang out, have a drink, watch some sports games, and it's so fun. So what are the main industries here? One of them is shipbuilding manufacturing, which is very similar to Belfast, which is in Northern Ireland, which I was there, made a video about that, so check it out. And that was really one of the cornerstones of the city when it first began to develop, and still remains critical today. Another thing though is marine biology and research, specifically because of where it is suited, right on the corner of the Atlantic Ocean, makes it a great spot for being able to track marine life and just learn about the way the Northern Atlantic, the whole ecosystem operates. Look, so I'm on the street right now outside, and then we go into here, and this is cool. I love how just like that, it transitions into a mall. Multiple levels too, with many cafes and so many different types of shops. This is such a cool find. Within the mall, it was literally built around the remains and ruins of a medieval castle. I'm inside the mall right now. Look at this. This is crazy. This was literally an old observation tower during the Middle Ages. Like, what? And now it's just yeah, inside all of this. This is something I haven't seen before. I'm literally lying down right now on medieval remains, and I'm inside a mall. That's so weird, but so cool. I have a little over an hour until my train goes back, and I really wish I could keep exploring. You know, I've walked down every street already, but just to be able to do it one last time, keep walking around, but I am just so exhausted. This is now my 15th straight day on the road, where I've been going all at it every single day. I think now it's just finally all catching up for me. One more day where I'm going all at it tomorrow. I'll be visiting Howth, so make sure you check out the video on that. And yeah, honestly, I'm ready for this, to just get some rest and be back home. So I'm gonna chill out again in the nice mall that we have until then. At least my relaxation period gets to be Galway specific and not just chilling in a random mall. I'm lying down on the medieval castle. Good night. After walking all that, I'm finally back in the main center, and it's definitely a very small city. I really saw it in honestly like 3-4 hours, so you don't need anything more than a day here, but overall it's just so elegant. There's so many great things to see. Obviously you have the marina and the lookout point, Nimmo's point, all of that combines to such immaculate vibes, you know? It's something that I haven't really seen in Europe. I've seen a lot in New England, in the United States, but nothing much here. I guess the closest European comparison where I've been to is Bergen, but still, this is different than Bergen. But it was fun. Will I come back? If I'm in Dublin for an extended period of time, certainly I'm going to take a day trip out here. In terms of ranking my 3 cities that I have been to on the island of Ireland, so including Northern Ireland, I'm going to say my favorite was Dublin, just because of how I love big cities. I love the Dublin culture. I would say number 2 is Belfast, because of how interesting I found their history behind boating manufacturing, as well as it's also a bigger city as well. Galway, 3rd. That doesn't mean I liked it. I love this city. I just find it, you know, it's a little smaller, but the charm is so nice, and I can understand why this is such an amazing place to live.